Minneapolis. This is trending right now. They're not talking about, well, they're probably not talking about it on CNN because some new news has emerged.
Oh.
So probably what you initially heard was police, again, shoot an unarmed black man with no reason. And look, we don't have all of the information right now, but I can tell you that that's some bullshit. So that's enough to start with.
Okay.
That the idea there was just an unarmed black man who was sitting there, traffic stop, like, hey, your tail light's out, and he, unloaded the clip. That's not what happened. However, Daunte Wright, if I have this name hopefully correct, Daunte Wright was shot by police during a traffic stop in Minneapolis, and immediately, of course, protests started to break out. Here's a clip showing some of the protests and also showing the mom of Daunte asking people not to do exactly how they be.
But I need you guys to, all the violence, if it keeps going, it's only going to be about the violence. You need it to be about why my son got shot for no reason. We need to make sure that it's about him, not about smashing police cars, because that's not going to bring my son back.
Now, it should be noted that all they heard was smashing police cars, and so they did.
Is that his biological mom?
I believe so. Again, a lot of this, I need to be clear, not all of this can be corroborated, but that's how it's being covered in mainstream news sites.
She's white.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice?
I noticed.
No, Dave.
I noticed that she was a beautiful, brave woman.
Is it BBW they call it?
I think so. I don't know. But the point is, she said, don't do this. Don't smash police cars. And they said, smash police cars? She said, don't. Do the opposite of that. And if ever you needed a more clear example of the disconnect between actual justice, which usually involves waiting for information, waiting for the facts, and the reason that people are going out and rioting and protesting, and of course Black Lives Matter raising over $1 billion from these corporations, and then one of the founders buying 4 $1.4 million homes in predominantly white areas, which, no problem. I know what you do with your money is none of my business until it's a nonprofit, and then it kind of is everybody else's business. That's the nature of a nonprofit. This is where we are right now. Now, here's something, too. I cannot 100% confirm. I want to be clear. However, this is making the rounds. It does seem that it's legitimate. The Brooklyn Center Police Department, they issued a press release saying that officers determined the driver of the vehicle had an outstanding warrant. Right now, I have people looking for that. If you're on Twitter and you found the warrant, send it to us, and we'll bring it up here later in the show. It's been a little bit difficult to find. At one point, as officers were attempting to take the driver into custody, the driver re-entered the vehicle. One officer discharged their firearm, striking the driver. The vehicle traveled several blocks before striking another vehicle. Now, this is something right now that may be from Daunte's arrest. Police scanner audio has been making the rounds. It seems to line up. It's pretty tough to corroborate all this information the morning of, and of course, it's really hard when you're using Google to search for facts. So this is from the police scanner audio, I believe, that seems to insinuate he may have had a firearm, and he certainly was running from police officers.
Got a Minnesota temp tag, up to about 34th, still southbound.
Copy. Is this pursuit?
He's approaching Lowry. Copy the pursuit. Can we confirm this is a carjacked vehicle?
Affirm. We talked to some cops and Jews earlier when we saw it. They said it was matching the description, taken at gunpoint.
6-3 Glendale.
Copy.
Give me the radio. You got a gun in his hand. He's across Wendell, still running westbound. Whose sweatshirt and his hands in his waistband? He had a gun in his hand. He's going to be coming out to Aldrich.
401 on Lowry, need a description.
And keep in mind, this is taken from about 20-something minutes.
Blue sweatshirt, light colored pants, mid-length.
So there you go. There's a description, obviously, of what he was wearing when
I heard gun. I heard two.
Yeah, I heard two. Yeah, I heard it's that Midwestern. I heard, oh, we're going southbound. I heard Stephen Avery making a police call.
Yeah, he's in Brainerd, shot several.
Yeah, I think this is. Look, we don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it does seem to be that incident in question. Again, at the very least, all I'm saying here is wait before you burn someone else's stuff down.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
definitely not enough to do that.
Wait before you commit a crime, because maybe this kid, of course, we know, sometimes there are unfortunate situations. Maybe this kid didn't deserve what happened.
Of course, yeah.
Maybe there was an outstanding warrant, like the police said, and maybe he had a firearm and was fleeing arrest. We don't know. And I think we've reached the point right now where if you don't know, usually when we were raised, you don't know, err on the side of caution. Now it's, you don't know, is there something reflective nearby? Break it. Break that. And that is, I would say, an issue. Not necessarily ideal as a direction societally, but right now to actually explain some of this to us, because we understand, and we've been accused, Porter Black Garrett notwithstanding, of being tone deaf. We have our very own formerly Professor Penis on the transgender criminology. He actually has been working on a new PhD in urban criminology, and here he is to deliver actually his live thesis on air. All right, how are you there, Professor Penis?
Good. How you doing?
Well, we might need to get you a little closer to the microphone and get the microphone on there. Can we hear you?
There we go.
Seems like we need we need more qualified professors, and I mean, it seems like you're not the. This isn't your niche, but you say that you are working on something other than.
Yeah. So as the audience is familiar, I'm Professor Penis. I have a PhD in penis and penis-related sciences, but I'm working on, as you said, a new thesis.
Yeah.
This is urban criminology and community response.
Oh, okay. So great. So you're working on this thesis. So maybe you can explain to us, obviously right now people are confused as to what the possible scenarios are that come from a scenario like this.
Yeah, so here are the basic elements of criminality and crime-related structures.
Okay, and I see community interaction. So you have police, suspect.
So these are the elements, yeah. So we have police, police human, male or female or any of the other ones. Suspect and community reactions.
Right, okay. So let's take us through this, because it seems like right now, regardless of the verdict, that we have sort of a foregone out. We thought with Chauvin, if regardless of the verdict, they were going to riot. Turns out we don't even have a verdict. So we would like to know what sequence of events, where the ultimate sort of end game is. So let's start with this, a traffic violation.
Let's start with, police. A normal, non-violent traffic violation.
Traffic violation, okay.
So
possible outcomes.
If the perpetrator is white, nothing
gets done because they never.
There will still be riots.
There will be riots. Okay, yeah, well, that's true.
So now we'll go change the race here to black, say nonviolent traffic violation.
Right.
Black if he is just arrested and complies.
Riots. Okay.
If he resists a bit, he can either get shot or apprehended.
Okay.
Either way, those both will lead to
I'm seeing
riots
a trend
again.
here.
Riots.
So now we can jump over to the suspect.
Okay, so this is important. The suspect might be different from the police interaction.
Okay, so
seeing it from other perspectives.
So the suspect, the police interaction happens. If he complies,
that would be
follow
ideal.
Here, arrest again, which goes to riots.
So I see that you had to add that retroactively.
Exactly. If he resists, it combines here again.
Could be apprehended or shot.
Yeah, could be shot up. Riots again.
Okay, understood.
Sure.
Yep. He can call his mother or parent figure.
Right, that's happened before with people.
The community will then hear of this. That will lead to
riots. Will lead to riots. Okay.
Sure. Complies,
Let's go to the community reaction there. And I don't know if you guys have any questions, because I feel like, And this is your thesis, correct?
This is the main, this is kind of the bulk.
Right, this is the bulk of your thesis. So community reaction?
Community, if there obviously could be a riot already happening here.
Right.
That will be more
It could already be starting.
That'll just be more riots.
Continuing.
Is it is your PhD in penis, or is it your last name?
It's just the PhD in penis-related sciences in general.
Is there any sort of thing that wouldn't lead to a riot?
Yeah.
That's being looked into.
Okay.
So far, we haven't found that.
Sure.
Me and my team mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So there's nothing that you have in your thesis that you think could help us to avoid.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Well, I mean, of course, if they're not guilty, I mean, I think we have a couple of apprehended up there between police and suspect.
That's true. What if they're not guilty?
Up there,
here.
it does.
Oh yeah. So let's see. Go to arrest. Not guilty. Yeah, still,
No,
Still ends up with riots. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, listen. You know what? It's at least important that we trusted the science. So, Professor
Yeah,
Venus.
this is all this is very
Yeah.
scientific.
Well, I appreciate it, and good luck on your thesis. And
thanks.
be sure to take the back roads home.
Yeah, I had a preliminary grade already. The other
Oh, that's right. Did you?
review. Yeah,
You already submitted the thesis.
yeah, it was peer reviewed. I got a solid C plus. I kind of haggled up to a B minus
Well,
range.
good for
so,
you.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, solid B.
Thank you. All right, Professor Penis, everybody.
Cool. Thank you.
We need better scientists.
I mean, he's out of his depth. He's getting used to this.
I only follow the science until they pull it off YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
I only follow the science that YouTube allows me to follow.
Then it
Right.
doesn't exist.
That, yeah.
If it's not on YouTube.
It's like if a tree falls in the woods, or like a riot.
Yeah.
If
a
you
riot,
push a
if a
tree
riot
over
takes
and
place
burn it.
in the woods, is Fauci there to justify it?
Yeah. You made a good point. People need to wait, right? There could two opposite options, right? He was running back to his car yelling, "I'm going to get my gun to kill you," right? That's an option. And then police react. Or running back to his car, "Hey, I forgot my ID. Is that cool?" Right? We have no idea what he was doing yet, but it really is hard to hold an opinion when elected officials come out and say, and I can't remember who said this in Minneapolis, said, I regret that we've lost another black man to police officer shooting again, right? So really highlighting these points and saying, oh, it happened again. And again, go back to the other stuff that we've been talking about with Maxine Waters and other politicians coming out and saying, this is racism. It's hard to hold.
Well, by the
It's
way,
hard
the
to wait
reason that
for
they
the
were there
facts.
so quickly was I believe there was already a Black Panthers protest going on there in town
already,
So
okay.
they got there
Just
really
co-opted,
quickly. Yeah, it was just like a two for one.
Like,
and
we
they
already here.
they burned down the Brooklyn Center, by the way, a liquor store and stuff. So they harmed people in their own. When I say they, I mean people in this community, regardless of race. Look, there's obviously a demographic in the community, but the fact is, the person harmed, the person whose liquor store was ransacked and burned down, was likely a part of that demographic in the community.
Yeah.
This is not going to end. I don't know. Look, talk about frog in boiling water. It's boiling. It's boiling at this point. We're at a point right now where YouTube's, well, you can't say that because maybe that's offensive. Well, you can't. Now it's, you can't be a doctor. You can't be a scientist from Harvard and quote the CDC data or the World Health Organization if they don't go together on any given day.
Yeah.
And now you cannot speak out against riotous barbarism without being accused of being racist. Well, you know what? You know who wants more police presence than we currently have? Most black people in this country. These people in these communities are the ones who suffer most. And you see that mom right there saying, hey, look, please stop this, right? Let's not. They do it anyway.
Looks like we have the warrants.
We do have the warrants?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, let's bring up this warrant. This is happening live right now.
We have two. This one was for possession and sale of small amounts of marijuana.
Okay, well,
and then this
that's ridiculous.
This one was for disorderly conduct. But he was called into court and to pay fines, and he never paid the fine, and he never showed up in court. So then warrants were issued for his arrest, is what it sounds like.
And that doesn't sound like that's a big deal, but the issue there is if you don't show up in court, again, if it's, well, what if I don't want to pay the fines? Look, at a certain point, there has to be some accountability, son.
Yeah, of course.
One time, there was a warrant out for my arrest.
Yeah.
That's right.
I tried to turn you in for the money.
Yeah, no, you know exactly what happened was I got
signs.
this is true. I got a speeding ticket in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah.
And it was a total speed trap where it goes from 40 to 20 and then to 40 for about 2 blocks.
And a cop sits right there.
This cop
I probably
right there.
know
This was
where
an
you
angry
were
little
at.
lesbian cop, and she was angry and she was lesbian. I don't say that as a she was angry.
Both?
She was
Descriptive.
both. I know. Usually it's one or the other.
I know. I've never seen it combined.
And she came up. She gave me a ticket. It was in my wife's car at the time. It was in a car that wasn't mine, in a state where I didn't live, and they posted it to some address where I had never been. So I never got the ticket in the mail. Completely forgot about it. Turned out that since I didn't pay it, there was a warrant, and I went in and I paid it. They just said, okay, you just need to pay a fine. It was reduced to less than a traffic violation because I was going like 5 over.
Yeah.
But the point is, I had to go into court. The cop said, you cannot drive in the car right now. Switch with your wife right now, who's a passenger. And I complied. Oh, okay. I completely forgot about this ticket. The point is, do I think that someone should be arrested for marijuana? No, I don't. I don't believe that nonviolent drug offenders need to be arrested. However, if there's disorderly conduct, there's a wide umbrella there. We don't know what happened. there needs to be some kind of justice. There needs to be a hashing out process. If you don't show up in court, at some point, they're going to have to arrest you. So here's my bet. Let me just kind of give you what I think is most likely here. Police say, okay, there's a warrant here. There's some kind of a traffic violation. He knows there's a warrant out for his arrest. He gets disorderly. Obviously, this guy has a history of being disorderly. Maybe he has a gun. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he flees. Maybe he goes to grab the gun like a Jacob Blake scenario. He gets shot. Now what happens? The reason why did he leave his body on the side of the road? My guess is what probably happened, and since they had a Black Panthers rally right nearby, is they realized this is going to be a heated scenario. Protesters are already here. So they left, came back with riot gear to protect themselves and retrieve the body. That would be my guess. Come on back and tell me when I'm wrong. I have no idea. This is just my guess with the information that's available to me. Certainly not a reason to riot and burn down your neighbor's stuff.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.